It's 5 o'clock on the Wednesday, and it's time for...
Okay, go on, a Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome to another review show right here on...
Magic TV.
And we are back with 4 brand new tricks. And there's some very good stuff, some stuff that's not so good, but we are going to get into it straight away. So thank you for joining us, right? He doesn't thank people, he's rude. But without further ado, let's get into this week's show. So first up, we have King Kong by...
King Kong?
Not King Kong, that's a monkey. King Kong. Kong. As it's a Kong
Kong.
with kings. But, by
Kong with
Spidey and Richard Sanders.
I thought it was Kong with kings.
No.
I thought the kings were Kong kings.
It's going to be one of those shows, people. Please be aware of that right now. King Kong by...
King Kong.
Not Kong. By Richard Sanders and Spidey. Now, Richard Sanders is probably my favourite magician. You know who Spidey is. Spidey is one of the greatest mentalists in the world today. You probably know him from ABC. Richard Sanders is an absolute legend in this community and has created some of the best magic ever. You perform a Richard Sanders trick in your show a lot. The fibre optics routine with the rope. Yeah. Fibre optics, Richard Sanders, you know, the two of them are amazing. And this is based on a routine that came out from Richard Sanders many, many years ago. But it's been updated. It's been changed. The premise, it used to be a completely different thing. And now it's kind of a little bit like a packet trick version of kids cards or Doodle Queens, if you remember that from a few years ago. Basically, what you have here is you have 4 cards that you've drawn on that magically get printed.
Yeah.
And there's a metric ton of routines that you can actually do with this. When you look at the tutorial, Richard Sanders teaches a bunch of different handlings. Spidey teaches a bunch of different handlings. There are easy handlings, advanced handlings, transpo handlings. There's so many different ways to actually do this. I'm going to actually show you a video now of Ryland performing this. He did it on Instagram. You did the really quick, simple version, didn't you? Kind of the main handling, as it were. So let's have a look at that first of all. This is the kind of the main handling. Let's have a look at Ryland's performance of King Kong.
I finally figured out how to cheat at cards. All I've got to do is take a couple blank cards with me, and whenever I need them, I can draw the cards. Let's say I needed a red king. All I've got to do is draw a red king, which is pretty cool. And then let's say I need a black king. Well, if I need the black king, I just draw a black king, and I get a black king, which again, is really, really cool. So I'll draw another black king, another red king. So then we've got both. But then obviously, people will think, well, they're not real. So all I've got to do is snap my fingers, and you can see that all of these become real kings. What?
So that was a great performance.
Thank you.
I know you don't do card tricks.
Yeah.
I think you'd do this.
I don't think this is really a card trick.
You don't think it's a card trick?
It's a packet trick.
With playing cards.
No.
I do love
drawings.
With drawings. I do
Of playing
of
cards.
playing cards. I
That
do
magically turn into playing cards.
that magically turn into playing cards.
So it's a packet trick.
It's not even a card trick, is it? Is that how you're justifying being able to want to do it? I love the premise to this. It's just so ridiculous. The whole idea of, hey, I've discovered how to cheat at cards. All you have to do is take some blank cards with you, and when you need a card, you quickly draw it when nobody's looking. It's so stupid, but it just works.
So stupid, but great.
Yeah, it's just awesome. So here's a question. Obviously, I know we bang on about you not doing card tricks, but you actually spend a long time practicing card sleights. I mean, your double lift's pretty good. You know, you can do a fair decent amount with a pack of cards. The reason I'm asking you that is, how difficult was this routine? I know there's a couple of...
Not that difficult.
No, there's a double lift in there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it's just a double lift.
Yeah, there's more complicated handling. So my favourite handling with it is this one called the transpo handling, where you openly show that you've got a drawn-in red card and a drawn-in black card, and then you show that... start again. You show that you've got 2 drawn red cards, which you put down on the table, and then you show in your hand you've got 2 drawn black cards. And then the black cards turn into the red cards, then turn back into the black cards, then back into the red cards. And as a finale, they all print into kings, which I thought was a really cool way of doing it as well.
Cool, yeah.
That's kind of a little bit more complicated. There's a few more moves in there. There's a bit of a knacky move, which isn't that difficult, but you kind of need to put a bit of practice into it. The nice thing about the tutorial is it has been covered and then some. They really go into depth. You're seeing lots of performances to camera. You're seeing lots of kind of live performances. The explanations are great. You know, Spidey is a great teacher. Richard Sanders is a great teacher. You put the two of them together. This is one of my favorite packet tricks that I've ever seen. Anybody who watches my stuff on YouTube knows I'm a huge packet trick fan. I love this.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I really like this.
Yeah? Would you do it? That's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
I could see yourself doing this because I know you like doing stuff that kids do. But these are like cards that kids have drawn on. It looks like a card that a kid has drawn on.
Yeah.
You could even use the presentation of, hey, my little sister drew me these because she knows I like magic. And, you know, that is a presentation that would work. Angles. Not really any angles to speak of, is there? The cards are gimmicked. So, I mean, they're going to last as long as cards will. You might need to replace it at some point down the line, but they're going to last a long time, just like a typical packet trick. There is a certain thing, a gimmick on one of the cards, but Richard tells you how to actually replace that gimmick in seconds. Yeah, it's just really, really easy to do. Those of you that have got Ace by Richard Sanders, you're going to know what's going on here. But it's really good. I love the drawings on the cards. I think this is a very commercial trick. I would 100% do this as well.
Me too.
What are you giving it?
100%.
Yeah, I'm giving it 100%. I think it's probably the best packet trick. I've seen a lot of packet tricks recently. There's some amazing stuff that John Bannon has brought out. There's some amazing stuff that Alakazam have brought out. But I'm telling you, the best packet trick I've seen, this is the best one since that one that Brent Braun's company brought out. I can't remember what that was called. It was like this twisting the aces thing. You remember it. You didn't like it as much as I did. But I've been performing that constantly. This is my favourite since then. I am definitely going to do this. 100% from me. 100% from Ryland. You can get it from all the good magic dealers. You can even get it from the bad magic dealers. You know who you are. But we're going to move on right now. And we're going to go on to the next.
We're going to move on.
Oh, no, Ryan. No. Yeah, ow. Yes, we're moving on.
Now we are.
Okay, so next up, we've got another card trick, and we'll see what Ryan makes of this, because here's the kid that doesn't like card tricks. He can't even argue. This is a card trick, and I think he really likes it.
It's a packet.
Shut up, it's not a packet.
3 cards.
It's not, because you have to get them to pick a card at the beginning.
No, you can just make it big.
This is Bangarang.
Bang! You're saying I can give you a free shot?
No, right.
Bang! Oh, I missed.
No.
Bang! Wait, something wrong.
Oh, my God.
It's okay. Bang! Got it!
I told you this is going to be one of those shows. This is called Bangarang by Nicholas. Don't you even dare. We're going to be here forever.
Bang!
Stop. Right, this is by Nicholas Lawrence. I'm not going to say the name of the trick again. It's by Nicholas Lawrence. And if you guys are aware, this plot has been around for a long time. You are too young to remember this, but in Richard's Almanac, the first mention I saw of something vanishing between 2 cards with holes in it was, I think, Holy POD, I think it was called, which stood for Holy Point of Departure. And I'm pretty sure it was by Don England, but I might be wrong. I'd have to check out Richard's Almanac. But the whole idea of a card vanishing from between 2 cards with holes in it have been around forever. This is one of the best versions I've seen of this. It is very, very, very clean. Good. Yeah, it really is. The gimmick is very well made. What you have here, basically, is you have the ability to show 2 cards that have holes in them, that are jokers. You show them front and back very, very cleanly, and then you just make a card appear in between them. And it's a card that they've previously picked. You then put them back in between the jokers with the holes in them, and it vanishes and goes back to the deck. Now, there's lots of different ways of doing this, and you're going to see a performance of it now. So this is Ryland performing the routine to me. Okay, so I've got my dad behind the camera. Dad, name any card?
The Queen of Hearts.
Okay, well, I've got 2 jokers here, as you can see.
They've got holes in them.
Yeah, they've got 2 jokers with holes in them, okay?
Yeah.
So you can see the 2 jokers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you something really cool with these 2 jokers. But all you got to do is watch. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to try and make your card appear. It's really cool. You ready?
Yeah. What?
I can actually make your card appear right there. which is pretty cool, isn't it?
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool. But the thing is, I can also make it disappear. All you got to do is watch. Are you ready?
What are you talking about?
Right, 1, 2, 3.
What?
I
Where'd it
can
go?
actually make it disappear.
Where'd it go?
Do you want to know where it's gone?
Yeah?
Watch. You can actually see that the Queen of Hearts is right there. What?
So, like Ryland just said there, it is a really, really great trick. And the performance that you just saw, right, was you with a deck of cards, having someone pick a card, doing some card
wanna
moves.
use the deck.
I'm
You
pretty
said I
sure.
had to.
I'm pretty sure there was a control there. I'm pretty sure that there was a force. I'm pretty sure there was a double lift. I'm pretty sure there was a reversal in the deck. That constitutes a card trick. And in essence, what you have here is you have a sandwich routine, because you've got the card picked at the beginning. Then you bring out these two cards, which you can keep in a separate wallet or whatever. And I love the display. I love the fact that you can show them front and back. They see that there's nothing in between them. And then you tell them to look at the holes, and then boom, the card appears. And you can just immediately show that the card is in between the king, in between the jokers. It looks amazing. And then the vanish, where you just flick it and it vanishes. That looks really good as well. This is just a really fun routine. You can do it with a regular deck of cards. If you do the routine that you just saw Ry do, you just need to have those cards with you, and you need the regular deck, and you're good to go. Now, just like with the previous Richard Sanders routine, these cards can't be examined. That's something you need to be aware of. The deck can be examined, but the cards can't. The jokers can't be examined. Now, there's a couple of different options there. You could make duplicate jokers and switch them out. But to be honest, I think that when the card vanishes and goes back into the deck, and you spread the deck out and the card's back in the middle of the deck face up, I think the focus is on the deck. I don't think the focus are on the cards with the holes in them. And I don't think anybody would want to say, hey, show me those cards with the holes in them. I don't know for sure, but I think that the focus has been put back into the deck. And if you carry on moving with the presentation and you then go into something else, maybe with their Queen of Hearts, I think that that won't be a problem at all. Personally, you have to use a Queen of Hearts. Please be aware of that. The gimmick is made to be Queen of Hearts. So if you're doing this multiple times in one night, you are going to be using the Queen of Hearts every single time. There are no other options there. But it's quite easy to do, isn't it? I mean, the hardest part is not the actual production of the card in between the jokers. The hardest part, if you've never if you've never done Magic before, you're a beginner to Magic, the hardest part is what you're doing with the deck, because you've got to do a force, you've got to do a card control, you've got to do a reversal.
I could do a card trick, but I don't like card tricks.
You don't like card tricks. What do you think of this one?
I think it's good.
You like it. Why do you like it? Look, it is more than a normal card trick.
It's not a card trick.
You could argue. You actually filmed this for Instagram. That performance that you just filmed was for YouTube, but you actually filmed it for Instagram as well, and you did it as a packet trick. You didn't have a deck in play, as I remember.
Exactly.
And you kind of just said, hey, I've got two jokers. I'm going to try and make a card appear, like the Queen of Hearts. Let's see if we can make this happen. And you did it like that. So I think you could do it as a packet trick.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the way I'm going to do it.
I do think it's made better by having them pick a card.
Give it 100%.
Giving it 100%. I do think this is really cool. The gimmick is really clever, and it's one of those tricks that's really fun to practice with as well. You're going to have a lot of fun practicing it. You're going to have a lot of fun performing it. I'm definitely doing it as well. I don't think it's as good as King Kong, but I think it's incredible. I'm going to give this 90.
King Kong.
I'm going to give this 94%. You're giving it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100% from Ryland, 94% from me. So we've just had three legends, Nicholas Lawrence, Richard Sanders, and Spidey, bring two amazing tricks out that are both card tricks that Ryland is going to do. Very interesting. Let's try and get him on another one now. Let's see if we can get him to do another card trick that's going to be not a card trick. Let's have a look at this next. Okay, so next up we have by James Anthony and Magic World, we have Squeeze, which is another card trick that's kind of not a card trick. And with this one, you can apparently squeeze a card down. Now, a lot of people were raving about this at the Blackpool Magic Convention. James Anthony was there performing it. A lot of people were buying it and talking about it. We'll talk about exactly what you get in the package. We'll talk about the tutorial. We'll talk about everything. But first of all, we're going to have a look at Ryland performing this for Instagram. So this is a performance of Squeeze by James Anthony. So I'm a big fan of a lot of the stuff that Magic World bring out, and James Anthony is an incredible magician. I've actually worked with him a couple of times. This trick, I don't know if I like it that much.
Neither.
Now, I'm fully, maybe this is just me, but but you know, because a lot of people were talking about how much they liked it at Blackpool, but this just doesn't kind of excite me. It doesn't float my boat. It's not like, because, and so first of all, you get the gimmicked card, and you get a bunch of those gimmick cards. I think you get 4 or 5 of them, which is really nice, because the more you do the squeezing process, the more the card's going to get worn out. So you get a bunch of them. You also get 40 or 50 mini cards. And James says that one of the cool things about this trick is when you take the card and you shrink it down and it ends up as a tiny card, he gives it to them as a souvenir. And he says that a lot of people keep it in their wallet because it's a really cute souvenir. And I can kind of see that as well. And although you saw Ryland do the kind of the Instagram version of the trick, which is, hey, here's a card, look, it's squeezed down, have a look at it. There is a routine on there. James goes through his full routine where he starts off by having a card picked from the deck. He folds it up.
The only problem with having a card picked from the deck is you can't really give it away afterwards.
No, you can. Because what he does, try to remember the tutorial, he forces the 4 of hearts on somebody, and he folds it up. Because the problem is the gimmick looks folded. So he folds the card into quarters, and then he does a crossing the gaze switch as he goes to get his magic wand or his pen. And now he unfolds it, and now he's in a position where he can do the thing.
Yeah, I'm not on about that. It's just that to do this and give the card away, the little card is completely different from...
I see what you mean. The back design...
The back is like a bunch of tigers. And then this one is like a bicycle back. It's like a bunch of like tigers instead of fairies.
Do you think people would notice that though? I mean, your average layperson, do you think they have ever seen a bicycle deck before? Do you reckon they even realise what's on the back of them? Do you? And when the card, and the other thing is, I think we have to give our spectators a bit of credit. I think that if they see a big card shrunk down in half and in half again, I think they're probably going to think somehow you've switched that.
I'm saying they're too clever, and they're going to know. I'm giving them credit. I'm going to say that. I'm saying they're clever. That's what I'm saying. They're clever.
Yeah, because I think they're going to realise there's a switch anyway, and I don't know if they're going to go, there was a, maybe they will. I get your point, and I also thought that the gimmick, you had that really nice idea of the corner that's blank. For those of you that know, should have had a back printed on it. That's what you said to me, didn't you?
Yeah, because there's just an empty corner that no one's ever going to see. So when you squeeze it, and you squeeze it down, so it's like a mini card, that you could show the back, but it's blank, and no one's ever going to see the blank side. So you might as well just colour it in, like the other mini card, so you can like show it,
before you do the switch. Because the thing is, when it switches, when it's squeezed down, that moment where it's small, that's when the switch has to take place. And that's kind of the time that they're watching you the most, because they've just seen it squeezed down. I like it. You know, I used to, for years, do a trick called Diminishing Returns by Mike Powers. I used to do that in my restaurant work all of the time, where a deck of cards, you'd spread them out, and the deck would shrink to a mini deck. And then the card would grow, and the card would shrink, and the deck would go back to size. And it always got a really great reaction. So, but I don't know. There's something about this. I think that the gimmick works, but I just think it's a little bit angly the way that it's actually done. I think it's a little bit angly. I think the switch for the mini card takes place at just the wrong time. I think that the way that you get into this routine, because you have to have a card picked and you have to pre-fold it, so you have to fold it in front of the audience, and then you have to do a switch in order to get everything into position. I just think it's a lot of effort for a trick that's over in a couple of seconds that I don't think people will. I don't think it's going to be the trick that, even if I did it and I put it into my act, I don't think it's the thing that people are going to remember. I think it's a lot of effort for something that I think would be a bit of a cute moment. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong, Maybe I need to try it in the real world to find out. But I just, this is the sort of thing that I looked at and I'm like, nah, I just can't see myself doing that. But that's fine. Not everybody loves everything. There's times, many times, that I've liked stuff that you haven't, and you've liked something that I haven't. But on this particular case, I think we're on the same page. The other thing is, just like in the previous routine, please remember it has to be a 4 of hearts.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it over and over again, which is a small problem, because obviously a small problem. That's what I did there. If you're going to do the full
every time
routine,
you're going to do it,
you're going to fold up a 4 of hearts.
you're going to fold up a 4 of hearts.
So you're going to have to buy a 4 of hearts.
So unless
forcing
you
deck.
spend like a whole hour folding every single card in the deck up to look like the 4 of hearts.
Yeah. So yeah, you need to buy a 4 of hearts forcing deck so you can reset it between each performance. Look, it's not for me. It does what it says on the
Or
tin.
you could shrink an ambulance down.
Yes, maybe.
Because then you got half the cards.
The tutorial.
There you go.
I'm just
There you
ignoring you now. The tutorial is very well done. James Anthony is a good teacher.
Why are you
He
ignoring me,
cares an
Andy?
awful. No,
Why are you ignoring me?
I'm not ignoring you. I'm
Are you
definitely not ignoring you.
Okay, I'm going to keep
I love,
that there.
I love you very much, and I'm definitely not ignoring you.
I just
The tutorial is very well done, and James obviously cares about the product. He's put more in than you would need. If you buy this, you'll be able to do it over and over again. And if you like the effect, you are going to be very happy with it. It's just, for me, it's not the sort of thing that I want to do. I couldn't see myself doing it, which is why I'm going to give it 55%. What about you?
I don't think I'm going to do it, so I'm going to give it 60%.
60%.
Yeah.
60% from Ryan and 55% from me. Look, that's just our opinion. If you like it, go get it, but it's not for us. Anyway, it's time to move on to the final review. Oh, sugar!
I got him!
So now I've recovered from eye injury. My final review, or the final review
Even the eye.
Yes. The final review we're going to be looking at today is by a legend of magic, somebody I know that you know an awful lot because he's at the YMC, the Young Magicians Club, an awful lot, and that is the one and only legendary Wayne Fox. Wayne is an incredible magician. We saw him at Wessex. We love Wayne. Wayne's one of the best close-up magicians that I've ever seen. Wayne has this incredible ability to create really commercial magic that hits people flat in the head. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love King Kong, I'm telling you right now, this is my trick of the week. This is incredible. This is called Look So Sharp by Wayne Fox 2.0. Now, Wayne's he bought this out years ago, probably in 2010 or something. And he's recently just brought it back out through TCC. It came out at the Blackpool Magic Convention. He also had them at the Wessex Magic Convention we were at recently. And basically, what it is it allows you to take a Sharpie marker, and at the end of a routine with a Sharpie, or after you've had somebody sign a card, you can visually take that pen and roll it up into a little ball.
That's cool.
Or squash it flat. Now, I did a couple of shorts for my my Instagram channel. I've started using my Instagram channel again. Craig Petty, Motivational Magician.
Now you're going to just lose them.
Shut up, Ryland.
And
I
think they liked it better when you took pictures.
I'm going to start. You're winding me up, right? Okay. Let me show you the 2 videos that I did. So I did a performance to camera for a short, for a reel of both versions of this. So the ball version and also the squashed flat version. So let's have a look at that first of all, and you can see exactly what this looks like. So how awesome did that look? Genuinely. That looks really good, right? This can be used in so many different ways. The tutorial is very short. It's only about 15 minutes long, but it doesn't need to be any longer than that. It's Wayne basically going through a few different ways of actually switching the pen for the gimmick. And basically that's what this is. You're going to take a gimmick Sharpie and you're going to switch it for either the ball or you're going to switch it for the squashed flat piece. And then if you want to, you're going to stretch it back out again afterwards. And there's lots of different ways that you can do this.
This is very good.
Yeah. In the video that you just saw, I sleeved the pen. In both videos, I sleeved the pen. You could use a pull if you wanted to. There's nothing wrong with using a pull. You could just use sleight of hand and just do a pen vanish and a false transfer. You could use a flip stick vanish. There's so many different ways of doing this. If you wanted to, you could probably come up with a way of doing it with some sort of change bag or something, but kind of a smaller version for close-up. But the point I'm trying to say is there's lots of different ways of going from the pen to the gimmick. But I love magic where there's not a full routine to it and it's just a visual moment that you can include in your act. Like, I love the idea of saying, hey, can you sign this for me? Fantastic. Hang on, let me just put this here. Can you hold on to that for me? Because as a magician, you should be able to do magic 24/7. You know, you should be able to just pick up anything and do magic with it. So why wouldn't you take a pen and go boom and flatten it out? Or take a pen and go whoop and roll it up into a ball? I think this is brilliant. And the other thing, Ryland,
really good.
it's fun to play with. You know, I do I do the gold memberships,
Yeah.
and twice a month I do like one-to-one sessions, and I run them every hour. For those of you that don't know, I do 2 one-to-one days for gold members in my Netrix, and literally I'm running one-to-ones.
Spend the whole day off and just do the one-to-ones.
Yeah, I literally go
like
from
2 in the
9:30.
No, it's like 2 in the morning till like 4 in the morning.
No, it's not that bad. But I start at 9:30 in the morning. I go 9:30 till 10:30, and then have a 15-minute break. Then 10:45 to 11:45, 15-minute break. 12 till 1, and I keep going till 2:30 in the morning. And I literally just do them all in one day.
4 in the morning.
No, that a couple of times, but mainly 2:30. And I love doing them. But since I've had this trick, I'm there doing my one-to-ones. I've got my monitor, I've got everything I need, I'm all set up, and I've got a table. As I'm talking to them, I'm just off camera, just constantly fiddling with this thing because I love playing with it. It looks so good. And I've started gigging it now. I gigged it years ago and then I lost it and then it wasn't available, but I've started gigging it again now. This is brilliant. This gets, for me, the Alakazam treatment. This gets 120%.
That's my Alakazam treatment.
Well, no, that's what I mean. I'm taking a leaf out of your book. I'm giving this 120%. I think this is brilliant. What are you giving it, little monkey?
Before I tell my rating, you know earlier on, when I hit you in the eye,
Yes, that hurt.
all you had to do was look sharper. My bullet drop.
All right. What are you giving it?
I'm going to give it 100%.
100%.
100% plus tuning.
Are we going to say plus Tulin? Wow. If Wayne's watching this, 100% plus
My God.
Tulin. Oh my God. 100% plus Tulin is a fantastic mark. So there you go. That is. Oh crap. There we go. That is another review show. Done. Let's wrap this up.
There's a new review show in the bag. The new review show in the bag. The new review show in the bag.
Why do you always beat me up? There is another review. Ow! Right, give me the thing. Give me the thing. Give me some. There's no bullet.
My bullets in there.
That is another review show in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me and Ryland right here on Magic TV.
You only did 3 tricks.
I don't care. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. We're going to see you again next week, if he's alive, with another review show. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And Ryland can be followed on Ryland the Kid Magician on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to check out the Netrix at www.thenetrix.com. Not .cookies.com. It's .com. It's never been .cookies. It never will be .cookies. I don't think .cookies exists. It's .com. Thank you once again for joining me. On behalf of Ryland, I'm Craig.
Cookie!
All you had to do was say, I'm Ryland. That's all you had to do. Let's say it again. I'm Craig. He's Ryland. We'll see you again. Thanks very much. Bye, everyone. Bye.